Are you a travelpreneur who dreams of building a thriving business that gives you more time, financial freedom, and the flexibility to work from anywhere? Then you're in the right place, my friend. This is the Passports, Profits, and Pixie Dust podcast. I'm Lindsay Dollinger, and I've built multiple six-figure businesses while traveling the world, living life on my terms, and helping women entrepreneurs do the same. Whether you're a travel advisor, an online business owner, or someone looking to add more adventure and income to your life, this podcast is here to guide you. Each episode, I'll bring you business strategies that actually work, productivity hacks, branding and marketing expertise, and plenty of pixie dust fun to help you create a business that fuels your passion for both profits and travel. So if you're ready to scale your business, attract more leads, and build a brand that lets you work from anywhere in the world, let's dive in and create and own your magic together. Hello, welcome back to Passports, Profits, and Pixie Dust. My name is Lindsay Dollinger. I am your host, your hopefully a favorite travel agency owner, teacher of all things travel. And I am still at my dad's recording because I'm still helping care for him after he broke his leg and arm on our cruise. So different change of scenery today. That's all right. I do have I just realized a cuckoo clock behind me. So if you hear the clicking back and forth, this is the room where I can get the best light and also like best setup here because there's not really like office space. So we're going to go with it. Hopefully it doesn't bother you too much. But today we are talking all about something that I know many of you deal with. And it's actually something that I don't love calling it imposter syndrome, to be completely honest. As I have dived more into this topic, I think it's a lack, or at least for me, a lack of self-worth / self-confidence. And I'm going to go ahead and put a plug in here for the book Worthy by Jamie Kern-Lima. If you have not read it yet, please go get it. Please read it. Her podcast is a good one to follow. You know, though, she usually interviews people, but the interviews are very motivational. But if you can find solo episodes of her, especially back when she started her podcast, or hear her on other people's podcasts, maybe type in Jamie Kern-Lima Worthy into YouTube and see what comes up. But I've heard her as a keynote speaker twice. And both times, I very much felt called to her message. And that's when I realized that what I consider imposter syndrome for myself is a lack of worthiness. So anyway, I want to preface this with, because I think that's a really great source, and she's got like questions and exercises and stuff in it as well that she walks you through. But I think that's a really great source of learning more about it, diving more into it, and helping get through it. But today we're going to talk about imposter syndrome, okay? And it's that little voice in your head that says, who am I to be doing this? There's so many agents who know more than me, or who book more than me, or make more money, or are more qualified. What if someone asks something that I don't know, which is going to happen, right? It's going to happen really all the time. Yeah, we're going to go there today, because if you don't deal with this, it's going to quietly sabotage your business. And I'll be honest, that paired with not even the fear of failure for me, but it's usually been the fear of success, has really over the years put a cap and put a limit on what I am able to do. So I don't know if you resonate with that. Maybe yours is the fear of failure. And I think mine is the fear of success because, and this is something I'm also very much working through, you know, I am still a full-time teacher. My family is very, very much always talked about, and still my dad still to this day preaches having the quote unquote stable 9 to 5 with the quote unquote, and I'm saying quote unquote stable retirement, because we all know that there are retirement plans, you know, getting killed left and right. And if you follow state teachers, I'm in Ohio, state teachers, Ohio is our retirement system, and it is never very stable, it seems like. So I don't know if that's like still true the way it was, you know, 30, 50 years ago. But anyway, so along with that, I have always kind of put my own self-limiting caps on my business because I have a fear of having too many clients, of having too much of my business growing too big, because then I feel like I would have to choose. Do I quit my teaching job? Is it stable enough to have to quit my, you know? So those are all, I feel like, things that I am working through and issues that I know I will work through when I get to that point. And that's part of the reason I started an agency and brought on other agents as well. So, okay. enough about me. Let's dive into what imposter syndrome looks like specifically in your business. So in the travel world, imposter syndrome sounds like I haven't been everywhere yet, so I can't sell it. I haven't been to a certain destination, I can't sell it. I don't know everything about it. Or maybe you have been there, but it's been a while, or you were there, but you didn't experience, XYZ experience that your clients are asking about. This could also be like, I'm new, so I can't charge planning fees, or, I'm dealing with friends and family, so I don't want to charge planning fees. I need one more certification. I am really guilty about this. I need one more certification. I need one more training before I can book this, before I can post about it, before I, can share things about it. This is not true, by the way. And I'll start marketing when I feel more confident, because right now I just want to work with friends and family and blah, blah, blah. And I'm, kind of afraid to put myself out there to other people for whatever reason that could be. But confidence does not come first, friends. Confidence does not come first. Action comes first. And as you do the action, the confidence will build. It's almost, and I don't necessarily always love this saying, but the fake it till you make it. We got to fake it till we make it a little bit, okay? Because when you do that, then you are going to show up more and more confidently online, in your conversations, in your emails. You just show up differently, but you're not going to have that confidence most likely until you act on it, until you actually do the posts, until you do the emails, until you travel maybe a little more. Maybe you do need to travel a little bit more. I don't think that's a bad idea ever, to learn your destinations, to become experts in it. But here's the thing that we get to remember too. Most likely, you are more of an expert than the person who is reaching out to you. Either that, or they just don't have time to plan it. You're doing a service to them anyway. So here we go. So if you're waiting to feel ready, you're going to be waiting a long time. So let's stop doing that. So I'm going to lovingly call you out for a second and remind you that you do not need to be the most traveled person in the world to be a great travel advisor. I sell cruises and sell myself as a cruise expert, and I think I've been on 6 cruises. That is still 6 more than the most of the people that I book for. And sometimes people I book for have been on more than that. And I just had someone reach out. She's, I think it was platinum or diamond member in Carnival, and they still want me to help them. They are getting accessible rooms. It's a big group. They wanted my help putting them all together because they didn't want to deal with it. That's what I do. That's what you do. So even if you're not the most traveled person in the world, you can still be resourceful, detail-oriented, a good listener, and willing to learn and find those things out for you and your clients. That's it. You're not going to be hired because you've been everywhere. You're going to be hired because you make the process easier, more simple. You are providing the little extra details that maybe they're not going to be able to think about, because you save your clients time, you prevent mistakes, you handle logistics, and you know where to find the answers. We have those dedicated call lines for a reason, right? Google exists, supplier reps exist, training exists. Your value is not knowing everything. It's knowing how to figure it out and how to use your resources. So let's get into the strategy of, 5, I'm going to give you 5 practical ways to overcome imposter syndrome. And I think my cuckoo clock is going to go off in just a second because it's almost the top of the hour, but we're going with it. Okay, first thing you can do is borrow confidence from your training or from other agents in your teams. In my agency, we have a Facebook group. We hop on calls together. People ask me questions. My agents ask me questions. They borrow the confidence from me. I am their hype girl. I let them know the places that they can find the thing. So borrow your confidence from your resources, because again, you don't need to know everything. You just need to know where to look and where to find those answers. So lean into those supplier trainings, Disney, cruise line, your tour companies, FAM opportunities, your host agency resources, your host agency CEO or leader. I guess I don't even know what's called, agency owner. If you're in a smaller agency like my agency, your network of other agents, hop into my Facebook group. If you're not in my Facebook group yet, marketing, I don't even know the official name for it, but it's marketing and systems magic, maybe systems and marketing magic for travel agents. I'll link it in the show notes. I've changed the name a million times, that's why, but hop in there and ask and build relationships, with other people. Remember, you are not doing this alone, and that is one of the most amazing things about this business. The next thing that you can do is start talking before you feel ready. This is the one that most people avoid. You think, I'll post when I feel like an expert. No, you're not. You're going to become an expert by posting and by traveling and by getting bookings and learning the things. So start with posting, tips you're learning, trainings that you're taking behind the scenes. Take people with you. Frequently asked questions from clients. Here's what I would recommend for a family of 5 going to Disney on a budget right now, right? You don't need to be 10 steps ahead. You just need to be a step or two ahead of your ideal client. The third thing that we can do is focus on service and not perfection. Now, I will though say, obviously, especially on these trips that are thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, but really on any trip, there is a little bit of perfection that comes into it, right? Because we don't want to be making errors that are going to be costing us and our clients a lot of money. Imposter syndrome, though, is rooted in focusing on you. Let's flip it. And so what I mean by that is you don't have to be perfect, but the service that you're providing is going to be, right? So the question I want you to ask yourself is how I can help this client have the best trip possible, and then always be tweaking and improving that. When I think of how I serviced my clients 7 years ago versus how I do now, I'm almost a little bit embarrassed. I'm like, okay, I understand why maybe some of them did not come back. Not because I didn't know my stuff, but because I didn't have, all of the email preparations and organization that I do now. That makes it really easy. For example, like I was still using a paper credit card form as late as like 2 years ago. Well, who does that? So when you shift to service, that fear of focusing on the service, that's going to quiet down some. The fourth thing you can do, keep a proof folder. This was one of my favorite strategies. Create a folder in your email and pictures of screenshots that you take on your phone, and save your client wins, the thank you messages, bookings you've made, any positive feedback. If you have a website, put some of that on your website as well. You can also repurpose some of that for your stories or your socials. Regardless of how you use it, I want you to keep it, because on the days that your brain is being dramatic, you need those red receipts, and those are your red receipts. And the fifth strategy that I have is really decide who you are before the results show up. And this one can be tricky, especially for us as women with, or just really anyone with deep-rooted traumas and things from the past that we are still holding on to. This is going to be a big mindset shift. And I will say EFT tapping has helped me a lot with that. My tapping practitioner is Jackie McDonald. She's out of Canada. She's amazing. She's got several memberships. Go give her a follow. And also she has like a new moon and a full moon tapping. She does tapping all the time, just for free too. So go give her a follow if that's something that you want to explore. But think of ways that we can strengthen this mindset. Instead of saying, I'll feel confident when I get more bookings, there's that cuckoo clock. Say, I'm a professional travel advisor who helps clients plan amazing trips. And then act like it. Act like it now. Put it on a sticky note. Put it on your, as a backdrop on your phone, along with I have like a little vision board on the backdrop of my laptop. Put little notes, pumping yourself up around your house, on your mirrors, whatever you need to do. But act like it. Act like it now, because your confidence is going to be felt by your audience. They can feel the difference. So if you need to put on some pump-up music before you start, you need to get some coffee and some caffeine in you, you do you, girl, but figure out how you are going to show up as the best version of yourself. The real risk, friend, isn't starting. It is staying stuck. The biggest risk is also not posting imperfect content. It's not saying the wrong thing, and it's not knowing every answer. It's staying invisible, and we don't want to stay invisible. We don't want to be the best kept secret, because then we don't really have a business. We have a hobby that's not making us money, and it's sucking our soul, because then we're stressing out about when are the bookings going to come, especially because it's like your only source of income. We get to make it work, and you can make it work. You have the tools to make it work. We have to stop comparing ourselves to other people, put those blinders on, and show up and be you boldly, because I don't want you to be that invisible agent not getting the bookings. Okay. So just like my personal take on this, because I have been there and I obviously struggle with all this because I'm human as well. I have definitely questioned if I was experienced enough for things. The first time I did a cruise booking was actually before I'd ever been on a cruise. And I'm not going to lie, it was so confusing. Now that I've been on more cruises, I also realize it was also confusing because a lot of the cruise booking tools really suck. Let's just be real about that. So that was part of it. So I'm giving myself more grace about that now. But there was, I didn't know what I didn't know. However, I used my resources and I pick up the phone and call the supplier and ask these questions. And even just say that, this is my first time booking XYZ and I've never experienced it myself. Is there anything else that I need to be aware of to let my client know? Or that I should be asking my client whatever. I've done that. I'm not qualified enough, or why would people actually trust me? A big thing that I allow myself to compare is when I see people sharing numbers for their agencies and they're like, I've had over $2 million in sales and $5 million in sales. And I'm like, what? And then I remember I'm still a full-time teacher and I am traveling and I am balancing trying to have, let's be real, I don't really have much of a social life, but trying to, take care of myself and go to my Pilates classes that I really started back up again and take care of my dad now more than normal. And, all these, I want the family time and I want that personal life. So a $4 million a year business probably doesn't fit in that right now. And that's okay. That's okay. Everyone's idea of success is going to look different. However, one big shift that I've allowed myself is instead of getting in the, getting stuck in the comparison trap with that, I allow myself to say, look what's possible. Look what these amazing women and men have done in their businesses. Look what's possible. If they can do it, you can do it too. Now we just get to show up and figure out how to do it. So if that mindset shift helps you, please feel free to steal it and use it, because that one is one that I like to use to kind of analyze people. Now, I don't want to spend too much time doing that either, because I want, to have my own ideas. And I also want to spend time doing the action versus, the learning and I don't even know what I want to say studying, but maybe that's not the word, but, looking at what other people are doing. That's what I say. Blinders on. Once I know the thing is possible, then it's time for me to show up and build it in my own way. So show up anyway, take action before you're ready, and helping people before I felt like an expert, all of those things helped me. And then over time, the confidence caught up. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, okay, this is me, here's your challenge. I got 3 things for you today, okay? 1 is to go post a piece of content, letting, something related to travel. The second thing you're going to do is to reach out to one potential client. Let them know you're open for business. That, hey, I saw you guys just got off a cruise. If you need any help booking your next one, I'd love to talk to you about that. 3, share one travel tip in some other sort of way from that post. So this could be a story, email list if you have it. If you have that email list and you have people's emails and you haven't emailed them in months or a year or ever, here's your tip. Because momentum beats perfection every time. And remember, that's how we build the confidence muscle so that we don't have the imposter syndrome feelings quite as much. So if this episode helped you, screenshot it, share it on Instagram, tag me. I love seeing what resonates with you. And just make sure you're in my world. If you haven't yet taken my lead generation quiz to find out the best way to find new clients, head to lindsaydollinger.com/quiz. That'll get you on my email list. And then also, if you go to lindsaydollinger.com/freebies, I have lots of freebies there for you to grow your business. There are some that are travel specific. There's a travel agent marketing starter kit that should be linked on there. Then there's some things that are not travel specific, just, business growth in general. But I just want to make sure that I can help and support you in any possible way. So make sure you're on the email list, get over there. Let me know what you thought of this episode. And friend, just remember, keep chasing your dreams, keep exploring the world, and keep adding a little pixie dust to everything that you do. Go out there and create and own your magic. Bye-bye. And that's a wrap on today's episode. I hope you're leaving today inspired, princess, to create, own, and spread your magic to the world. If you found value in this episode or know a girlfriend who needs to hear it, would you screenshot it and send it to her? And if you're feeling really generous, pop it up on your IG stories and tag me at Lindsay Dollinger so I can see you loved it and tell you thank you. I appreciate you. Now let's go do some amazing things. Bye-bye. Hey, fellow Disney lover, are you looking for magical, comfy fashion? Then you need to check out Bella Bling Shop. Bella Bling's size-inclusive line is perfect for park hopping, princess races, or just adding a bit of everyday magic into your life. Much of the artwork of this comfortable clothing line is hand-drawn, unique artwork. I know this because I watch my sister do it. Yes, this is my sister's shop, and she takes so much time and care into everything that she creates. Every single piece is special. So again, whether you are just getting excited, going to the parks, whether you're getting ready to run a race, or whether you just want to add a little bit of Disney fashion into your life, make sure you check out Bella Bling's adorable, comfortable styles. Visit www.bellablingshop.com. You know I'll put that in the show notes for you. And make sure you use code PODCAST, all capital letters, to get 10% off your first order. Tag me when you get it, and I want to see what you decide.